Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do an overview of Ildyra. This is not going to be a level 99 review because I don't have her leveled in my JP account. So I can't really speak from a very much, but I have fought against her a lot, so there is that. And sorry the video is late, I've been busy and tired. One of the advantages of playing JP but making videos for Global is that I can do stuff ahead of time, but wasn't able to make it happen this time. There are quite a few people on the JP side that consider Ildyra one of the best, if not the best unit in the game. I don't agree with that, but I do recognize that she is very good. I said in the Mariata video, but Ildyra is the preferred farmer in JP. In JP, there are rooms that ask for Ildyra, and that's it. And then, if and when I do pull Ildyra on my global account, I will work on her, because I don't have her in JP and I'd like to use her just to get a better feel for her. But I'm not going to pull for her, and I'm not going to buy her shards ahead of time. Part of that is because I don't love the character. I'm not a fan of Glasses characters, and I don't like the voice actors very much. But also, it's just because I'm not chasing characters anymore in Global, because I feel like I have enough now to work with, and so I can save my Lapis for upgrading guys that I currently have, or buying nice bundles or whatever, so yeah. Ildyra, when she comes, I'll start working on her. In the meantime, I'll pretend she doesn't exist. Alright, but let's talk about the character. She is a new job calculator. It's not quite right to think of that as kind of a remix of the Red Mage job. She's really like a Black Mage with a couple healing spells. But main job Calculator, we'll talk about that soon. Sub-job Spellblade, that can give her some close-range magic attacks, some hate-generating skills, and then also some magic defense stuff. And then also sub-job, she has Black Mage, magic attack spells. And let's look at her status. Well, I'll say that her HP, it's higher than some other magic users like Mediana or Asalia. But I still wouldn't call her tanky. If you remember back my Glass Cannon versus Bruiser table, I did put her in the Glass Cannon section, and that's been my experience going against her in PvP. But resistances, 20% to magic, and then negative to all the rest, so yeah. She's not a beefy character like maybe Miranda or Mariaru. Okay, then let's look at the Trustmaster real quick. This is an armor, I guess maybe robe would be the best way to describe it. So-so HP, so-so spirit, and then not a lot of people can equip it either. Mages, cleric, witch, lapis white mage, staff mage, calculator, and then some future characters, so yeah. Limited there. Active ability is really interesting. I like this. It's like a transposition from the Time Mage job. But you can trade places with another character and then instantly fill her CT gauge to full. So it's like casting quick on herself, kind of like two actions in one. I did say this in a previous video, but using the transposition, there's a number of ways that you could use it. You could use it to pull back a teammate that's maybe in trouble. You can use it to sort of move Ildyra twice in one turn. You can use it to pull an enemy out, to sort of isolate it from its teammates, and then surround it with your own guys, so very, very interesting skill. Okay, but anyway, let's go to the board. Let's look at her skills one by one. Oh, that's right, I don't have these unlocked, so we'll just go around the board here. But here is the height-based cure. The higher the elevation of the target, the more healing it will do. This has a pretty good range. And not too expensive either. And then this is a height-based water. Again, pretty expensive, nice range there. And height 3 don't act. This is a sub-job skill for her, I remember. And then this is great. This is one of the best skills for calculators. But don't act is one of the best status effects in the game. You cast it on an enemy, they won't be able to do anything but move. And then for some reason they start moving towards you. So that's good too for isolating enemies from their teammates and then getting them closer to you so you can attack them more easily. This will have a greater chance of success against enemy units. that are standing on an elevation of 3. And there has been some content recently in JP where, certain units that you do want to use this on do start on elevation 3, so this is a good skill to keep in mind. Okay, then CT average. This will target everybody in that orange area of effect, and then it will average out the CT count on everybody. And this will include both teammates and enemies. So you could use it maybe to slow enemies and then speed up teammates. Okay, and then damage split. This is a reaction ability. But an attack that she takes, she will have a chance to counterattack, and then that damage from the counterattack will heal her. So I like this. I like any skills that will heal her back in a reaction skill. And what else we got? Here are a couple of support abilities which will change her level or height requirements. This is a turn level 4 to level 3, and then turn height 3 to height 2. And what that does is that it changes the levels or the elevations where your spells will have greater efficacy. I showed this before in the height 3 don't act, but you can cast this spell on anybody in that area of effect, but it will have a greater chance of success against characters that are standing on a height of 3. So if you were to equip this one, for example, you could change height 3 to height 2. You'll have a greater chance of success against characters that are standing on an elevation of 2. And then when you are using a calculator and you want to get the most out of their skills, you really want to be aware of the map that you're going into. So that can take some prep work, but it can be PvP or high difficulty content. Just take some scouting out. Let's see, what else does she have for calculator? Okay, here is height 3 holy. Again, you can change this to height 2 if you want, but this is an AoE holy, light element damage. The thing about this holy, however, is that it is not 100% hit rate, so you can't use this to extra effect against evade teams. But it's nice to have because it's off element. That way you can take Ildyra even to against lightning characters. Okay, level 4 Watera, kind of the same idea as Holy. You hit guys in this area, and targets with a multiple of 4 will take extra damage. If you're going into Arena, if you want to use a calculator there, you can change maybe the level 4 to level 3, because the level of opponent that you're most likely to face is going to be 99. That's a multiple of 3, not 4. But also, going into the floors of the tower, for example, you can check the levels of the enemies in there, and then adjust your calculator that way. Okay, level 4 Water Ga. This is a stronger version of the one that I just showed you. And height 3 Cura. Here's an AoE Cure. This is nice for her. But one of her few healing spells, and that's why I say that she's not a red mage. Ildyra, she does not have haste, she does not have Esuna, life, those kinds of things. And then one nice thing about the calculator attack spells is that they have no casting time, so that's part of the reason why she is the preferred farmer among players in JP. And also, because her attacks aren't tied to a limit break, she can just use the same skills over and over and over, unlike Mediana, who uses her limit break once and then has to fall back on her regular spells. Okay, next, let's talk about Black Mage. We'll skip Spellblade for now. Black Mage, we got Drain, Watera, Sleep, Bio, Water again, Aspil, that is a TP Drain. Oh, Magic Counter, this might be one of her best counter abilities. But this does really, really good damage, more than a lot of physical counterattacks. And then Toad. I should say about Toad and Sleep, these can be useful in the tower, because these are spells that take TP to cast. And so if you're in a very long battle and you run out of AP points, you can cast Sleep or Toad, and then get some AP points back. And then you can also cast this on yourself or your teammates. And then you want to look for somebody where it has a 0% chance of going off. That's an easy way to raise AP points without any detriment to yourself. And magic attack up, that's a good support ability to have. Okay. I think some people are down on the Black Mage or Ildyra because it's not as sexy as the calculator because there are casting times here. But actually it might be one of the better choices for her because she's not super tanky, and so you want her to keep her distance, I think, if you would want to use her. The last subjob that we will talk about, Spellblade, it kind of makes her want to get closer to the enemies, and I don't know if I like that very much. But talking about Spellblade, we have Bio Sword. We have this one, which is nice. This is the support ability, which will raise magic resistance and then also fire element resistance. And we have Magic Resist. This is a magic area of effect buff that will raise magic resistance. And Water Sword, Magic Guard. This is a reaction ability. If you get hit with a magic attack, you will maybe lessen the damage there. Okay, Water Sword. This is a 2-panel range attack there. She can do decent damage with this, but again, you need to get close to the enemies. I don't know if you want to do that. Alright, and then we have Attract Spell, which is a nice ranged attack, a little bit of AoE, but it also raises your hate. And I think you got to be really careful before raising the hate on Ildyra. If you remember from looking back at her resistances, she only has a positive resistance score for magic. So if you wanted to use her as a magic tank, and only a magic tank, I think it would be possible. Give her some clothes, with some magic resistance, get the Fenrir card and the Esper in the future, and then I think she could be a decent magic tank. The problem is that you have to be very careful when you're selecting opponents in the arena. You have to look for teams that are all magic users. And then even then, if you run across a Mediana with a ninja subjob, and then she uses like the ninja skill or shuriken, that might do a lot of damage. So even though I'm kind of interested, I've been saying I've been interested in the Spellblade subjob lately, I don't know if it's great to use on Ildyra. Please try it out, see if you like it. But if I were to use her, I would mostly use her calculator subjob, especially to get the height 3 don't act, or just the standard Black Mage, just to keep the distance between her and the opponents. Alright, so I think that is a look at all of her skills. Oh, and one more thing I should mention. When you're using height skills, targets that are standing on elevation 0 get a 20% bonus to success rate. So that's another reason why you want to be aware of the map that you're going into before you go in there. Alright, so who is Ildyra for? Until a few weeks ago, I would have said people without Mediana. Now I guess people without Miranda could benefit most, although Miranda's a decent farmer too, with her jamming thrust. If you wanted a calculator but you weren't 100% sure on Ildyra, I can highly recommend you wait for Mariaru. Also, for people that believe that War of the Visions is 99% farming, I can recommend you this character. Thinking about Miranda versus Ildyra is kind of interesting. Miranda is better in some ways. She is a tankier unit. She has some positive physical resistances. She also has some self-buffs that raise her physical resistance, like Sentinel and stuff. But she also has Esuna, she has Time Magic, and she can equip swords, which is an easier to get, and there are more choices with swords than there are with maces, like for Ildyra here. It's funny, when Miranda was released, people were like, oh, she's dead on arrival because Orlando. But weirdly, people aren't saying that this time around about Ildyra. It's almost as if people now understand how the game works. Alright, so that is a look at Ildyra. If you are trying to pull for her, good luck with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.